Welcome to Human Development Theory and Practice. My name is Dr. Neil Soggie, and this is Lecture 2, the first part of this lecture. And what I'd like to do right now is walk you through what we'll be doing within this lecture. So we will be exploring the historical basis and origins of the study of human development in the course Psychology of Human Development. In this lecture, we will explore the intriguing world of developmental psychology during the 19th century with a particular focus on the pioneering studies conducted during this time. Now, today, we will delve into the remarkable types of studies that emerged in the 19th century, shedding some light on the early understanding of human development. Specifically, we will examine what is called the baby diaries and their significance in laying the groundwork for future research in the field. And by examining the historical basis and origins of the study of human development, we gain a deeper appreciation for the progress made in the field and the influential contributions that set the stage for our current understanding. And this exploration will provide us with valuable insights into the evolution of developmental psychology and the factors that have shaped our understanding of human growth and change. Now, here are the three main items that we will be covering in this lecture. First, we will look at an overview of the 19th century context, and here we will begin by setting the stage and providing an overview of the historical context in which the study of human development took shape during the 19th century. We will explore the societal, cultural, and scientific influences that propelled researchers to turn their attention towards understanding the complexities of human development. And secondly, I will introduce you to the baby diaries. And so we will delve into the fascinating world of the baby diaries. And this was a pioneering approach at the time that documented and detailed observations of child development. And we will then explore the key researchers involved in these studies, their methodologies, and the valuable insights that they gained about various aspects of human development. And things like motor skills, language acquisition, and the socio-emotional development will be considered. And then finally, we will look at the significance and impact of these baby diary studies. And so we will reflect upon the significance and the lasting impact of the baby diary studies in the fields of developmental psychology. And we will discuss how these early investigations laid the foundation for subsequent research, for various theories and methodologies in understanding human development across the lifespan. And we will also examine how these studies contribute to the recognition of the importance of the early experiences and the individual differences in developmental trajectories. And so I encourage you to approach this lecture with curiosity and a critical lens as we delve into the rich history of developmental psychology. So let's explore the baby diaries and their significance, discovering the foundations that have paved the way for our present understanding of human development. But first, as always, a story, or at least a perspective on what life was like centuries ago for children. So, historical documents offer valuable insights into the harsh realities faced by children employed, for example, in the coal mines, especially as far back as the 16th century in England. And these first-hand accounts paint a vivid picture of the challenging work conditions and the toll that it took on young lives. So let's delve into some of these historical documents and better understand the experiences of child laborers during this time. One notable document is the report on the employment of children in mines and manufacturers by the British Parliament in 1842. Although this document dates from the 19th century, it provides detailed testimonies from individuals who had worked in coal mines during the 16th century and early industrialization. And these testimonies shed light on the hazardous conditions, long work hours, and physical toll experienced by child laborers. Another crucial source is the report on the state of children employed in mines by Anthony Cooper, who was coincidentally a friend of Charles Dickens and also published in 1842. And while Dickens focused on the conditions of child laborers during the 19th century, his writings draws from the experiences of children working in the mines during earlier periods. And Dickens vividly describes the oppressive atmosphere, the physical strain, and the frequent accidents that child laborers endured. Furthermore, the diaries and letters of Richard Jefferies, a prominent English naturalist and writer, provide valuable accounts of the harsh realities faced by children in coal mines. In his works, Jefferies describes the hazardous conditions such as cave-ins and explosions that endangered the lives of child laborers in the mines. And additionally, the autobiography, Life in a Coal Pit, by a fellow by the name of Joseph Hempelwhite, published in 1844, counts the author's experiences as a child laborer in coal mines during the early 19th century. And while it offers insights into the conditions of that era, it also reflects the enduring hardships that were faced by children in coal mines, which can be traced all the way back to the 16th century. And these historical documents, although originating from the 19th century, provide us with valuable glimpses into the earlier experience of children in coal mines, and they emphasize the common themes of hazardous work conditions, long hours, physical strain, and the tragic toll on young lives. And by examining these specific historical documents, we gain a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by child laborers in coal mines as early back as the 16th century. And these accounts bring to life the stark realities and human costs associated with exploiting children for labor. They serve as powerful reminders of the importance of protecting the rights and well-being of children in our present society, ensuring that they are provided with safe environments and opportunities for health, growth, and development. And during the 16th century, children were often devalued and subjected to challenging circumstances due to prevailing social and economic conditions. Their labor was frequently exploited, and their rights were limited or were simply non-existent. So, within this time, in many societies during the 16th century, children were considered simply an economic asset rather than an individual with inherent rights. Poverty, widespread inequality, and the demands of industrialization resulted in children being sent to work at very young ages, often in harsh and dangerous conditions. And one significant example of child labor during this time was in the textile industry. And in England, for instance, young children, some as young as 5 or 6 years old, were employed in spinning and weaving mills. They worked long hours, enduring physical demands and hard tasks, and were exposed to hazardous environments. And their small size and nimble fingers made them specially suitable for certain intricate tasks in textile production. And child labor was not limited to England. In the United States during the 16th century, child labor was prevalent in agriculture, manufacturing, and mining industries. Children were often employed in coal mines, textile mills, and other industrial settings, enduring strenuous labor for meager wages. The devaluation of children and their exploitation as a source of cheap labor gradually led to the recognition of the need for protective measures. In response to the dire conditions faced by child laborers, various countries enacted early forms of child labor laws. One notable example is the English Statute of Artificers of 1563, which introduced regulations aimed at protecting child apprentices in different trades. The statute established age limits for different occupations and specified that children should receive appropriate training and not be subjected to excessive labor or mistreatment. Similarly, in the United States, specific states began to implement legislation to regulate child labor. For instance, in Massachusetts, the General Court passed the 1641 Body of Liberties, which established regulations on the minimum age of employment and conditions in which children could work. It's important to note that while these early laws represented very initial steps towards protecting child laborers, they were far from comprehensive, and enforcement was very often lax. And it was not until much later, during the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries, that more significant reforms were initiated to address these child labor problems at a very large scale. Now, these historical examples of children being devalued and exploited during these centuries really underscores the importance of understanding the progress made in recognizing children's rights and protecting their well-being. It serves as a reminder of the ongoing struggle to establish appropriate labor standards and safeguard the welfare of children. By examining the historical context and the evolution of child labor laws, we gain insight into the social, economic, and ethical factors that have shaped our present understanding of child protection and rights of children. It highlights the significance of advocating for children's rights, ensuring their access to education, and protecting them from exploitive practices. As we continue our exploration of human development, it's really vital to recognize the historical experiences of children and the continued efforts to promote their well-being. And by understanding the past, we can better appreciate the progress that we've made and really continue to work towards creating a future where all children are valued and protected and given the opportunity to thrive. Continuing on, in the 16th and 17th centuries, particularly in England and the United States, the historical experience of how people viewed children underwent significant changes. During this period, perceptions of children shifted from being seen as miniature adults to being recognized as distinct individuals with unique developmental needs. So let's explore this historical journey and the changing attitudes towards children during this era. In the 16th century, children were often perceived as incomplete or imperfect versions of adults. They were viewed as inherently sinful and in need of strict discipline and moral guidance. The concept of original sin, prevalent in religious and cultural beliefs, shaped this perception. Children were seen as inherently flawed due to their connection to Adam and Eve's fall from grace. And education during this time primarily revolved around religious instruction and moral teachings. Children were expected to conform to societal norms, and discipline was often harsh and authoritarian. Parents and educators believed that strict control and punishment was necessary to mold children into responsible and morally upright individuals. However, by the 17th century, a gradual shift was happening in the attitudes towards children, and so different thoughts began to emerge. The works of philosophers such as John Locke played a significant role in this transformation. Locke emphasized the idea of the tabula rasa, or blank slate, suggesting that children were born with a receptive and malleable mind, ready to be shaped by their environment and experiences. And this new perspective led to a recognition of the importance of nurturing, educating children in a more gentle and compassionate manner. The focus shifted from strict discipline to the cultivation of reason, virtue, and moral development. Education became more diversified, with an increasing emphasis on literacy and the acquisition of knowledge beyond religious teachings. In England, the emergence of the Puritan movement also influenced the changing perceptions of children. Puritans emphasized the significance of a child's soul and the need for spiritual guidance. And they believed in educating children and instilling religious values at a very early age. And this emphasis on education and moral development contributed to a shift toward a more compassionate and attentive approach of raising and educating children. And so in the United States, the Puritan influence continued to shape perceptions of children. The establishment of the first American colonies, such as the Massachusetts Bay Colony, emphasized the importance of education and moral upbringing. The New England Primer, a widely used textbook during this period, focused on teaching children to read and instilling moral and religious values. Overall, the 16th and 17th centuries marked a significant transition in how children were perceived and treated, from being seen as mature adults to being recognized as individuals with unique developmental needs. The understanding of childhood underwent a significant transformation. And so the emphasis on moral guidance, education, and the recognition of the child's unique potential laid the groundwork for a more nurturing and child-centered approach in the centuries that followed. And this historical experience serves as a crucial backdrop for understanding human development. It reminds us of the ongoing evolution of societal attitudes towards children, and it really highlights, I think, the importance of recognizing their unique needs, their capabilities, and their rights. And by examining the past, we gain insights into the historical context that shapes our present understanding of childhood and the continued pursuit of supporting a child's optimal growth and development. So let's continue on by exploring just a little bit of what we see as far as the understanding of a child's physical development. And so let's delve into the overview of the 19th century, where we will explore the societal, cultural, and scientific influences that contributed to the study of human development during this era. And by understanding the historical backdrop, we can better appreciate the motivations and perspectives of researchers as they sought to unravel the complexities of human development. And so the 19th century was marked by significant societal and cultural changes that influenced the study of human development. One crucial influence was the Enlightenment. an intellectual and philosophical movement that emphasized things like reason, rationality, and the pursuit of knowledge. And so the Enlightenment challenged traditional beliefs and encouraged a more empirical and scientific approach to understanding the world. The emerging field of biology also played a significant role in shaping the study of human development during the 19th century. The work of renowned scientists such as Charles Darwin, who published On the Origin of Species in 1859, revolutionized our understanding of evolution and the interconnectedness of all living beings. Darwin's ideas sparked interest in examining human development from an evolutionary perspective, leading researchers to explore the developmental stages and processes that contribute to human growth and adaptation. And furthermore, the Industrial Revolution, with its rapid advancements in technology, urbanization, and social change, had a profound impact on society and influenced the study of human development. The shift from agrarian to industrial economies brought new challenges and opportunities, leading to increased focus on understanding the effects of these changes on individuals across the lifespan, including children, adult workers, and families. In addition, the establishment of educational systems and the spread of literacy during the 19th century provided a platform for studying and documenting human development. And this enabled researchers to conduct large-scale studies and collect data on various aspects of human growth and behavior. And one significant, specific historical example that exemplifies the growing interest of studying human development during the 19th century is G. Stanley Hall's groundbreaking work. Hall, an influential American psychologist and educator, is often regarded as one of the founders of developmental psychology. He established the first laboratory in the United States dedicated to the scientific study of child development at Johns Hopkins University in 1883. And his comprehensive studies on child psychology, such as adolescence, its psychology and its relations to physiology, anthropology, sociology, sex, crime, religion, and education, published in 1904, laid the foundation for understanding the complexities of adolescent development. Now, we will see a statement behind Hall's name on the slide. And so the statement is, so I should talk a little bit about that. G. Stanley Hall, one of the influential figures in the field of developmental psychology, applied the concept of ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny in his work. And the idea of ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny was first proposed by the German zoologist Ernst Haeckel in 1866. And Haeckel, a contemporary of Charles Darwin, suggested that the development of an individual organism, that is, the ontogeny, mirrors or recapitulates the evolutionary history of the species, their phylogeny. And so Haeckel's theory posited that each stage of embryonic development is in an individual organism represents a step in the evolutionary process of that species. In other words, as an individual organism develops from fertilization to birth, it passes through stages that resemble the adult form of its evolutionary ancestors. And Hall was intrigued by Haeckel's theory and believed that it could shed light on the study of human development. And he recognized that the early stages of human development, particularly during prenatal and infancy periods, displayed similarities to the primitive stages of human evolution. And Hall argued that studying the development of children would provide insights into the evolutionary history of the human species. So, to explore this concept, Hall conducted extensive research on human development and published several influential works, including his landmark book, which I've already mentioned, Adolescence, its Psychology and its Relations to Physiology, Anthropology, Sociology, Sex, Crime, Religion, and Education in 1904. And in this book, Hall examined the different stages of adolescent development and discussed how they correspond to key historical periods in human civilization. However, it's important to note that while the idea of ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny was initially embraced, it has been discredited in its absolute form. Modern scientific understanding recognizes that ontogeny is influenced by a variety of factors, including genetic and environmental influences, rather than solely mirroring the evolutionary history of the species. Nonetheless, some aspects of the concept have been acknowledged as having at least partial validity. And while G. Stanley Hall's application of the idea of ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny may have been based on an outdated understanding of development, his work and research on child and adolescent development played a significant role in laying the foundation for the field of developmental psychology. And by studying the various stages of human development, Hall sought to uncover insights into the complex interplay between biological, psychological, and societal factors that shape individuals throughout their lives. And another significant contribution to the study of human development during this period was Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory. Freud's groundbreaking work in the late 19th and early 20th century, including The Interpretation of Dreams that was published in 1899, delved into the unconscious mind and the impact of early experiences on personality development. Freud's psychoanalytic approach stimulated further research on childhood and the role of early experiences in shaping adult behavior and mental health. And these examples highlight the diverse range of influences that shaped the study of human development in the 19th century. The Enlightenment, evolutionary theory, the Industrial Revolution, the spread of education, and the pioneering work of influential individuals like G. Stanley Hall and Sigmund Freud all contributed to a growing interest in understanding the intricacies of human development across the lifespan. And so by exploring the historical context of the 19th century, we gain insight into the forces that propelled researchers to delve into the study of human development. And it all underscores the ongoing quest to unravel the complexities of human growth and behavior and sheds light on the origins of the field of developmental psychology as we know it today. We're going to pause there and take a short break. We will come back and conclude this overall lecture and discover some interesting things about the baby diaries and the legacy of the baby diaries. I'll see you in a little while. You take care. Goodbye.